Okay, welcome back, Rams fans. Coming at you with some Rams news. Cooper Kupp is the topic today. Man, he's breaking records. He's setting new trends. He's doing it. He's doing it all. He's doing everything on the field, off the field. Cooper Kupp, good job. He got 10 receptions and 156 yards with 2 touchdowns against the Detroit Lions on Sunday. So let's jump right into this. These notes that I took from an article that I came across. It says, Cooper Kupp established a new season best with, let me lower this. Established a new season best with 10 receptions and 156 yards with 2 touchdowns against the Detroit Lions on Sunday. Coop has already surpassed 150 yards for the second time this season, and he has now grabbed 2 touchdowns for a 4th time. Okay, so 4 different games, 2 touchdowns in each of those 4 different games. There's been 7 games, and he could have gotten more touchdowns and more yardage. However, the Rams are stacked at that position. The depth is deep. At wide receiver is slot position, whatever you want to call it. Receivers, just to name a few. Van Jefferson scored a touchdown as well this weekend, and or last weekend. And what do we got? Van Jefferson. We got Robert Woods. We got Higbee. I'm forgetting one. We got plenty of receivers. Deshaun Jackson. That's right, Deshaun Jackson. He was one of the ones that had a meeting with Sean McVay, saying that he wasn't getting the ball enough. So that's what I was getting at. And then Robert Woods as well, I believe, had a meeting with McVay saying that he wasn't getting enough passes thrown to him. So those complaints took away from Cooper Kupp's receptions and yardage. So I'm not saying it's right or it's not right to complain about not getting the ball enough. They had every right, and they're just as good. Imagine if they were being targeted as much as Cooper Kupp was. I'm sure they would be breaking records too. So and as a team, to move forward to win games, it is a team sport. You know, you're a fiercer team if you use all your weapons that you have. Jefferson, Higbee, Cooper Kupp. He's the star of the video right now. And Deshaun Jackson for the deep ball. So it's better, and McVay has even said it's better if we spread the love around. And so Cooper Kupp, for that reason, might not get as many yards as he's capable of. However, let's go on with the notes here. Cooper Kupp currently leads all NFL players with 56 catches. Whoa, leads all, emphasize on all, the entire NFL player receivers with 56 catches, 809 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Thank you to his spectacular start of the 2021 season. Kupp had 4 games with 2 touchdowns. We already spoke on that. And to talk about his touchdowns, they were not coming easy. I mean, he had to plow his way in on a few. I would say, I'm not going to say a number, but they weren't easy, and he earned those touchdowns with his skills, and which is on pace to become a record. Just 21 times in the NFL history has a player scored at least 2 touchdowns 5 times in a season. Randy Moss accomplished this 3 times, including an all-time high of 8 2-touchdown games in 2007. Randy Moss, to even be mentioned in the same sentence or the very next sentence with Randy Moss, wow, that's an achievement in itself alone. Kupp is only the 6th player in NFL history to score 4 touchdowns in his team's first 7 games. Okay, so now we're talking about the first 7 games. And Kupp is the 6th player in NFL history. Here we go. Now we're talking about the entire history, not just this year, 2021, but is the 6th player in NFL history to score 4 touchdowns in his team's first 7 games. All right, I'm telling you, he's breaking records. He's going for it. He's going for the all-time records. Calvin Johnson, like Moss, 2000 in 2007, Bobby Mitchell in 1962, and Steve Watson, 1981, is in the mix. 2011. In 2011, who was Megatron's quarterback? That's Calvin Johnson. That was Matthew Stafford. No wonder why. Matthew Stafford creates great receivers, record-breaking receivers. Kupp has the 16th highest receiving yardage total ever through the first 7 games of a season, but he is only 4th among Rams receivers. Okay, so 16th highest receiving yardage ever. We're talking history again, NFL history. Cooper Kupp is at 16th place in the record books for receiving yardage. Wow. Here we go. That's who Cooper Kupp is. He's a record-breaking receiver, all time. Man, we got Aaron Donald, is the best in the NFL. They're claiming he's the best ever that's ever been. Here we go. We got Cooper Kupp now coming up like that. Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford. These are future Hall of Famers, all on the same team. That's why I love when they call the Rams high-powered team. Anyways, let's go on with the notes here. He's 4th on the Rams among Rams receivers. In the first 7 games of 1995, Isaac Bruce had 45 receptions for 833 yards. In the first 7 games of the Rams Super Bowl hangover season in 2000, Bruce caught 41 catches of 821 yards and 7 touchdowns. However, with 56 catches after 7 games, Kupp is tied for 13th all-time. Adam Thielen earned the record in 2018 with 67 receptions. Kupp had 56 for 822 yards. That's Thielen had 822 yards. And this is with 7 games, within 7 games. So, he would have broke that record if we didn't have the depth that we have at receivers. This is a good thing. I'm not complaining about that. It's a good thing that we have depth at the receiver position. That's going to help us get to the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl too. Kupp's total is the most for a Rams receiver in franchise history. In the first 7 games of 1989, Henry Ellard had 46 catches for 801 yards. In the first 7 games of 2003. Torrey Holt, had 52 catches for 778 yards and 8 touchdowns. Kupp has 9 touchdowns and he has 809 yards. And that's more than Allard and Holt. That's how good Kupp is doing. Cooper Kupp has had at least 90 yards and a score in 5 games. 90 yards this season. And there are still 10 games left. So that's 900 yards you could just add to his 809 yards if he got 90 yards per game. His pace for record breaking is huge. Here it is right here. Cooper Kupp is on track for 136 receptions for the season, 1,955 receiving yards, and 20 touchdowns as of today. Who knows what will happen in a 17-game season? Well, that's not fair. You know, you got to stop the record-breaking thing at 16 games, or to compare, you know, or you got to put it one extra game. Whatever. What is fair is fair. But it will most likely be compared to exactly, there it is right there in the notes. Must be compared, or will likely be compared to a 16-game season, just one game longer. Calvin Johnson holds the NFL record. This is relevant because Calvin Johnson's quarterback was Matthew Stafford. So let's go on with the notes. Holds the NFL record most receiving yards in a season with 1,964, which he set in 2012. Which is relatively recent, with Matthew Stafford and his quarterback. Yeah. Like I said, Matthew Stafford making great receivers with his great passing. Is his fastball. I had mentioned earlier in an earlier video about Matthew Stafford throwing the ball so hard it just bounces off his receivers. There was a couple of them that could have been touchdowns, but Matthew Stafford just throws the ball so hard. And then I seen a recording, a video of Megatron, talking about how fast Matthew Stafford was throwing the ball at him, that it was hurting his fingers, and he was getting mad at first until he got used to it. But that's how hard, that'll tell you right there how hard Matthew Stafford throws the ball. Let's continue with these notes. Michael Thomas holds the NFL record most catches with 149, and 136 would tie for third all-time. Only 2 players have ever caught 20 touchdown passes in a season: Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. Wow, look at those 2 Hall of Famers. They're the only 2 players have ever caught 20 touchdown passes. I just have to repeat that. 20 touchdown passes in a single season. Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. They were some receivers to watch. They were always breaking long runs, long catches, catching bombs. Man, they were fun to watch. Anyways, prepare for a new standard at receiver. Rams single season records. Just some extra notes. Catches, Isaac Bruce. In 1995, he had 119 catches. And yards record for the Rams, single season record for yards is Isaac Bruce holds that in 1995 as well, with 1,781 yards. Cooper Kupp is on pace to break both of those records. Cooper Kupp is having a great season with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. Have a good day.